Rick, what was the ultimate determining factor for Aaron and his determination if he could go tonight or not?
He's playing.
Was there any specific thing that made that possible between pain tolerance or anything like that?
He's doing better than expected.
I was reading a study about how this year's playoffs has actually had the lowest percentage of home team wins ever, and it's been a decreasing trend in the NBA. Do you notice that? And if so, do you have a hunch on why home court advantage could be less of a thing now than ever before?
Well, it's not the where, it's the how. And I think it speaks to strong officiating. It speaks to strong-minded teams, and the amount of parity that there is in the game right now, which is really exceptional and a very good thing.
What's just been your read on Ben Mathen in the series so far? It seems like he's had some struggles. What do you feel like he's been kind of working through? What do you want to see better for him going forward?
He's ready to play. He's ready to play, and we're going to need him. And it's pretty much as simple as that.
Rick, this is now 2 years in a row you've played the Knicks in the playoffs. Kind of a throwback to the '90s when the Knicks and the Pacers were rivals. What has it been like going up against Tibbs and going up against that team now for, I guess, now it's been 11 games or so in the playoffs?
You mean like this year and last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's competitive. I mean, look, there's a lot of history, goes back a lot of years. When I was an assistant coach here, I think we played them 3 years in a row in one of the rounds. It's great competition. We have a high level of respect for how they compete and their fan base. You play at the Garden. It's one of the ultimate environments, and we have one of the ultimate environments here. So it's always really good competition.
Hey Rick, as the voice of the franchise, I wanted to ask you about just anything you could tell us about the decision for John Halliburton to come back today, and then just some of the things that you've gotten to know about him since you've been around him the last couple of years.
Glad he's back. Father should be able to watch his son play basketball. So, we welcome him back.
Coach, so much attention naturally goes to Tyrese, but as far as the minutes, the responsibility goes
To what?
So much attention usually goes to Tyrese, but as far as minutes responsibilities, Andrew has been right there throughout this series. How much has he grown this postseason go around in your estimation?
Well, we're still a young team, and there's growth happening all the time. Andrew Nembhard, really ran quite the gamut of experience last year. He played the last 2 games without Tyrese against Boston and started at point. And so, he plays for us as more of a hybrid type player. Off the ball to start with, secondary ball handler. We know he's a good defender, all those things. The experience in the playoffs last year where he had to play the point, that was terrific for him. And he's a guy that loves to compete, he loves to learn, he wants to get better and better. And so the experiences you go through as you move from round to round, if you're fortunate enough to advance, are extremely valuable.
Rick, any limitations or pitch count with Aaron tonight?
It's to be determined. Not as of now, but I always watch everybody's minutes, and so it'll be something that in real time we'll have to gauge. Monica, did you have a question? Keep raising your hand, or is that your?
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a blessing too. In game 4, thank you. In game 4 so far, you guys have responded after game 3 losses, 20-point victories. I know you talk about this group being a young team. Obviously, the losses allow you to probably tee them up a little bit differently in terms of growth. But as you've navigated this entire postseason, what would you say is the personality of this group? Learning from losses or learning more from wins?
Well, it's been a resilient team all year. You know, you follow the Knicks, you see the same thing. They're a resilient group. It's two teams that, you know, are structured a little differently, but both have a lot of the same characteristics that, you know, fans really fall in love with. You know, so it's a great series. It's you know, there's a lot going on. But you know, we're trying to stay focused on the process that works best for us, and it's not an easy process. And the Knicks are certainly not an easy opponent.
Rick, obviously you all dealt with some injuries early in the season to your big men. What have you thought about just the backup role that Thomas Bryant and Tony Bradley have played, and what you like or maybe want to see more from them?
Well, our front office did a great job being able to acquire those guys. You know, the Bryant acquisition couldn't happen until December 15th because he was a free agent signing with Miami, but that coincided with one of the points of our season where we started to turn things around, and being able to play bigger from start to finish in games was a factor there. So, you know, Thomas has had a lot of great stretches in the playoffs. You know, Tony Bradley was a later acquisition. Circumstances were different, but you know, he's found a niche in this series. We'll see which way it goes tonight as far as who plays, but both of those guys have been ready, and they've both been really good pros.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.